Hey guys, it is Priestess of Light coming at you again today. Um, First of all, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Take only what resonates, leave the rest behind. Share the videos if you find them interesting or of subject matter of things that you wanted to know more information about. Please share the videos. But I wanted to talk about energy harvesting because a lot of people really don't know about it, and it's a very real thing. I was a person who didn't know anything about energy harvesting, was very unaware for a long time, and my energy has been harvested for a very long time. The first person that I can think of who actually did energy harvesting from me was my ex-husband. I had no idea that that was even going on, and I was in that situation for 18 years, and the entire time he was energy harvesting. So this video is for people who are very unaware of what is going on with their energy. We are energetic beings. This is flesh, but the energy that we are is what makes us alive, and your energy is your soul, is your spirit, and it's very real. If you ever seen like they talk about your chakra system, and it's a wheel, it's an energetic wheel. The whole thing is energy. I guess just to kind of break it down to make it more simplified, there's a children's movie called Monsters Inc. And in that movie, they were doing energy harvesting. The monsters would creep into the child's room at night, and they would pop out of the closet and scare the child to death. And the child would scream in fear, and they would have the bars showing how much energy they were getting from the children from scaring them. And this is what powered their power plants, was scaring the children. But there was a monster who came in, and he worked at the plant, and somehow one of the children followed the monster over into their dimension, and he fell in love with the little baby, and they was trying to hide her. But anyway, they found out that they could, because he loved her so much, he didn't want to scare Boo anymore. So he figured out how to make her laugh, and saw the energy was even bigger from love. So just like this place's duality, it's dark and it's light. There's a balance in it. So you don't have to scare somebody to death to get their energy, but you can scare somebody. You can put them in a depressive state. You can do emotional manipulation, mental manipulation with mind games, sex. A lot of my harvesting was through all forms, including intimacy. So an example of the energy harvesting and how I did not know I was being harvested by someone that I loved. Every time we would be intimate, I would be worn out. Not because it was marathon sex or anything like that. I would be drained. And he will hop up out the bed, go take a shower and be gone. He'd be fully energized, and I'd be like, how every time we intimate, I'm passed out and this dude gone. He out the door, fully energized. Like, how you getting all this energy? He was siphoning it from me through sex. So that's a clue. If you're with someone and you're intimate with them, and every time you're intimate, you're completely drained, that is energy harvesting. And more people know about it than you think. They just will never say anything to you because you are their supply. You hear the term so often now, energy vampires. And he would just come in, and I would always wonder, as soon as I got home and got off work, he'd all in my ear about something the kids did. He would make a mountain out of a molehill and would just stress me the F out. That stress gave him energy. There is mental manipulation. If they can keep you depressed, stressed, drained, he's putting stuff every time I wanted to leave. He'd always put something, because he wouldn't cook. He'd always put something. Whenever I got sick, he'd put something in my hot toddy. And he would make me a hot toddy, and he would always bring it to me grinning, like it was a devilish grin. And I'm like, why this man always smile like this? But I would be so grateful for the hot toddy because I was sick, not knowing, because I don't even really get sick. It's very, 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 very rare that I get sick. And I have a slight congestion right now, and I've had it for a couple of weeks, and that was induced due to spell work. No, that wasn't spell work. Witchcraft, black magic, whatever you want to call it. It was induced. I was actually attacked, and that's how I got sick. They was trying to make me ill. They did. It worked. So, but back to energy harvesting. It was rare that I would get sick, and he would put something in the hot toddy because I always wanted to get out of the relationship because it was just so dysfunctional. But I stuck around for the kids. I just didn't want to argue with him. Every time I would bring it up, it would be just such a horrible, horrible, horrible argument. Not knowing that I could have left at any time, but due to all the manipulation that was going on, that's why I was there for 18 years. But I was miserable. I was, 50 pounds heavier and just very depressed. Very, very depressed. And that kept him happy because he's an energy vampire, because he sold his soul a long time ago. That's something else I didn't know about. So you really have to pay attention to people. If you are a good-hearted, light-hearted person, always happy, willing to help people, you're just a good soul. You're not out here, trying to pull one over on people, and you ain't got to be perfect, but just generally you have to be a generally good person. And the energy vampires can spot a good source of energy. Yes, they can. And that's why I'm going to speak on a lot of older men go after young women or young girls, 18 years old, some younger, they go to the high schools because, our girls the girls look like grown women once they, hit in high school. Their bodies are developed like grown women. But they're a very good source of energy. So it's not always about, that they're young and fine. Yes, men are visual creatures, but it's about energy. And we have a large population of energy vampires. It's a lot of them. You probably know several without even realizing it. But just watch your energy levels. Watch how your mood changes. If someone is making you uncomfortable, just pay attention. I mean, you really, really, really have to pay attention. And it took me, I didn't even realize what was going on until well after I was out and divorced and completely separated. And once I started getting heavily attacked, and he was also a part of those attacks and ringleader of them, because he's karmic. The attacks got even worse, and that's how I got educated about energy harvesting, witchcraft, black magic, all these gang stalking. My experience educated me on what this is. Another good source of energy are the children. And unfortunately, it's a lot of that going on. You see the children coming up missing. They're energy harvesting, those children. When they did that whole thing with the wall on the Mexico border, and they separated those parents from their children, and a lot of them didn't get their children back, and if they did get them back, those children were abused. They were energy harvesting those children. And yes, they are sexually abusing the children to drain the energy. There are a lot of people